Lakeridge Leopards! Hi, my name is Megan Stevenson and I am studying wildlife and wildlands conservation at BYU. Some of my favorite classes here at BYU have been ornithology, or the study of birds, where we've gotten to go on a lot of field trips, and then also plant ID. So basically it's what it sounds like. We just identify a bunch of plants and learn how to do that. So those have been two of my favorite in my major. And then I've also loved my class called Environmental Humanities, where we get to read and watch and just learn about environmental ideas and ethics, and it's been really fun.
My favorite classes while I have been a college student have been my physiology, anatomy classes. I've also really enjoyed my religion classes.
Hi, I'm Rachel and I'm studying wildlife and wildlands conservation with a minor in geology. And some of my favorite classes have been plant identification, geomorphology, intro to archaeology, and geology of the planets. Those are all super fun with great professors.
The thing that makes the biggest difference, I believe, is scholarships. So any scholarship that you can apply for, whether it's an academic scholarship, whether it's a sports scholarship, any other thing like that, apply for it. Apply for as many scholarships as you possibly can. The next thing is, when you're choosing a school, you should choose one that has pretty low tuition rates. In-state schools, or schools that offer in-state tuition, they tend to have much lower rates for their tuition. Another thing that makes a big difference is to work through school. So I would just plan on working, whether that's even just a little bit during the week or working a lot during the summer. Just plan on working. The last thing is definitely learn how to live within a budget. There are things that you want, there are things that you need, and there are things that you just can't live without. It's important to be able to distinguish between those. So being able to say, I don't have to go out to eat every single day this week makes a huge difference. But if your goal is to graduate debt-free at the end of college, you absolutely can do it.
I currently have a job this semester, working in the math lab at BYU. And I think the most important thing I did to balance work and education was not working my first semester, because then I could know just how much free time I actually had. So that second semester I could balance accordingly.
Seeing the people around me, seeing my family. My parents didn't make it to college. They had other things they had to worry about. They started their families pretty young. And they always told me growing up, like, the one thing that they wish they would have done is gone to college and earned a degree and were able to do something a little bit higher with their work life. So that motivated me to do that, to be the different person and pursue nursing and to continue on that journey. So that's why I've pursued education, and I think it's super important for everyone to do so. So that would be my answer for that.
Picking a major is definitely a process. There's a lot of people who say that they know what they want to do, and chances are they'll probably switch their major a few times before they actually finish it. For me, I thought I wanted to do exercise science, and so I did exercise science for probably, I think it was 3 semesters, and I just got a bunch of my generals done too. And then I went on my mission, and when I came back, I realized that I didn't want to do exercise science anymore and I wanted to do business. So I started studying business, but I still didn't know what major I wanted to do in the business school, which is kind of a big decision I needed to make. So I think the biggest thing that helped me was just going to clubs, getting involved, talking to students that were already in majors and kind of talk about why they picked what they did, and also kind of what things were they learning, what kind of careers they want to do. And knowing those kind of things helped me realize, like, okay, I don't actually want to do that, or, oh, that actually sounds like a lot of fun. And so just getting involved, just knowing more, like getting more knowledge about each of the majors and stuff and finding out what just first off feels right, but also is something that you think that you would enjoy and that you're good at. So now I've locked it down. I'm gonna do strategy, business strategy. I didn't even know what strategy was like 1 semester ago. So I'm doing strategy, and I'm gonna do healthcare leadership, which is kind of a full circle back to my exercise science degree that I was gonna get. So there's always a path for everybody. You just have to find it and just ask lots of good questions.
So I'm currently an economics student, and I really enjoyed the intro course. So that's something that I would recommend is trying a lot of new things in your freshman year and trying hard classes and trying to figure out what you want to do, and then pursue something that interests you and something that you feel that you can be successful at.
Tips on being a good roommate. I think we'll all be working on that forever. If you want to get married, that's definitely a good place to start right now, is figuring out how to be a good friend. I think in general, being a good friend is just being more respectful of your own space, cleaning up after yourself, and also finding ways to just serve the people in your vicinity. For example, I have a roommate that plays tennis, and we love going to support her at her matches, and I've gotten to know her so much better because she's a pro athlete now, and she doesn't really have time to just kind of sit on the couch and talk like me, but we have a lot of fun talking and seeing each other at her matches.
Good roommate is a roommate that can communicate and talk about their needs and talk about what they want from the relationship with their other roommate, and being able to help and serve their roommate when they're in times of need as well.
College does get really busy, and there's definitely a lot of different responsibilities to try to juggle. But one of the ways that I keep track of my responsibilities, from homework to work and fun things even too, is this handy dandy Google Calendar. Really simple, but honestly it's a great way to keep track of tasks I need to get done. It's also very satisfying to check off those tasks once you complete them. But there are other ways too.
Yeah, I use Google Calendar, but I also use a planner that I make for myself. It just has the beginning of the week. I write down everything I need to get done, all my homework assignments, and then for every day I have a page and I write down what I need to get done that day and all the things in my schedule. So yeah, pretty simple.
I would say trying to plan my time and scheduling has been super helpful with that.
How do I keep track of everything? I use the calendar app on my phone to have, like, when am I doing stuff with friends, when do I need to go to a review, when is work, and then for assignments I have a planner that I put in all of my classes, and then what homework assignments I'm going to work on that day, and that's been really helpful.
Have a great day!